Welcome back to Project Buddies. Our next project on the Thunderbird is replacing the alternator. So last night when I was driving back, I noticed that my voltage gauge was not registering as high as it was before, and it seemed like it would fluctuate at times, but I thought that maybe it was a bad battery connection. But I actually bought a new battery, and there were times I stopped and double checked it, so it's not that. So right now I actually have a battery charger on it, and we're going to start replacing the alternator. So the first thing we need to do is way down in this cavity, if I can point to it. So right here is a belt tensioner, and you put in a socket into this little hole there, and then you can move the tensioner up, and then you can release the belt. So I will start to do that. This one I always know is it's in a tight spot because I changed the serpentine belt not too long ago, and I didn't show a video on that just because you can actually see those lots of places, but this will be something new, so I'll show you how I do this. So my first tool here is, I call it a breaker bar. It's a really long handled socket. It can't ratchet at all, so I'm going to put this end into that tensioner, and then I will pull back on it and be able to release the belt. It does get a little tricky because it's sort of in a tight, confined space, but I should be able to get it done. Well, I know I can get it done. I just I don't think I'm going to be able to show you actually me pulling on it, etc. So you'll just have to take my word for it. So if you can see down in there, I've got it down pretty far. I got the belt off. It's best to find a spot that you don't have an obstruction. So I got to take this bolt off and this bolt and disconnect the wiring, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I got the bolts out. As you can see, it's moving. I need to take these connectors off, so I'm going to use just a little screwdriver, because you gotta get underneath that connector to pop it off. This one I'm gonna have to look a little closer to see how to pop that one off, but I just got to get those connectors off. Okay, on this one I just needed both hands. I just had to push on this tab here to sort of loosen it from there. So I've got the connectors off. So now I'll get this out of the way and get the new alternator in. Okay, so I've got it out, and this wire is actually connected to the alternator, so I need to pop that off. So this one's a little interesting. It comes with flying leads with heat shrink tubing with a diagram. So I basically have to cut this plug off and connect it to this. That's not exactly what I wanted to do, but for what I've got, and I had to order this in, I'm just gonna go with it. So I'll just crimp it. Usually you can just get ones that you just plug the harness back in, but I think it's because I went with a less priced unit. So this is what it is, so we'll go with this. Okay, so I got the alternator belt back on and the bolts on. Now I just need to mess with this wiring. So I'm going to take one at a time, much like I did on the blower motor resistor, and just connect them one at a time. That way I'm getting the correct wire at the correct spot. Okay, it's all wired up. The connections were a little more difficult, but I got them on there. And I would say for if the car ever dies, if someone has to replace the alternator, they can figure it out. But I don't think when this thing dies, it's dead. So let's give it a whirl and see if everything's working okay. Well, it's up farther than it was, so it's definitely charging. So that's good. So another fix. I think the battery's just pretty low, so I might just go take it for a test drive since I did the other suspension part. So anyway, sorry if the camera was too close. Looks like everything's going okay, and we'll take it for a test drive, see if my clunk's gone, and go from there. Then the next job is replacing some tie rods and stabilizer links. So who knows when I'm going to get into that. So anyway, well, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and leave any comments. And I appreciate all the people that watch the show or the channel, and the subscribers I have, and I hope everyone's getting something out of it. This is one that definitely, it was a low-cost car, and maybe for those people that go out and they can't afford a lot of money, maybe this will show them how they can do things on the cheap. Well, not really on the cheap, but get something that they can fix something, and it's not costing them an arm and a leg if you just put some of your own time into it. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.